Talk to me a little bit about Dr. Wasim Moaz. What kind of man was he?
Dr. Wasim was just a fantastic pediatrician. I met him a couple of years ago when I started going to Aleppo, and he was doing an amazing job. We work in the same clinic. I am an ophthalmologist, so I work in the eye care. However, we really worked together for my stay over there, and I was impressed with the way and standard of care that he will provide. He will not compromise the care of his patients under any circumstances. His schedule was actually from the minute he wakes up, he goes to the work until the evening. He sleeps in the hospital. So in case there's an emergency, he will be able to help. So he will not go
Right.
home and sleep at home.
And Dr.
So
Azraq, I wanted to just interrupt you so that I could tell our producers to actually put up pictures of Dr. Wasim Moaz, who was killed. If we could see him while you're talking about him, that would be great. This is you, by the way. We're showing a picture of you as you are operating in Aleppo. But if we could see Dr. Moaz, you're saying he actually slept at the hospital because he wanted to make sure he didn't miss any emergency cases. Tell us more about that.
I mean, he will sleep in the hospital because there's not that many pediatricians available in the city, and you serve more than 200,000 people. So, and if he doesn't sleep in the hospital, then there will be no MD available to see those patients in the middle of the night. So he basically said, I will just sleep there. If there's any emergency, the nurses will come up and wake me up and get to see those patients.
But he must have known the danger. I mean, this is also something that everyone has said about him, is he must have known that this was life or death for him.
We all know when we work there that we don't know what's going to happen any minute. We experience this, especially in Aleppo. I mean, in Syria, that the medical facilities has been targeted from the beginning of the uprising. Doctors being tortured, killed, burned. A couple medical students in the beginning of revolution were actually burned to death. And this is the reality of medical field in Syria. Unfortunately, the medical personnel don't feel safe all the time. We basically forced to work with basically unknowing what's going to happen to us in the next day.
And I want to show pictures of you, Dr. Azraq, because you've traveled to Aleppo as well. There's one of you outside in Aleppo, right, standing by a huge pile of rubble there. When was the last time you went to Aleppo, and describe what it was like working there?
I went 2 months ago, right before the declaration of cessation of hostilities. I actually met Dr. Wasim a day before. I just saw him the day before leaving, and we had that dinner together. Actually, basically the situation was very bad at that time because it was the peak of the fighting around the city, trying to cut the roads to the city. However, with the cessation of hostility, the violence was down a little bit, to a point that people demonstrated in the streets and were able to gather. However, my understanding right now that it's really, it's 24 hours that non-stop presence of the aircrafts in the sky again. I've been contacting my friends on daily basis. The situation is very difficult at this point.